So today I want to tell you about a book called The Virgins, Pamela Erens, E-R-E-N-S. This came out similar time to my book, and I know that because the way I came to know The Virgins was that the first photo a friend of mine shot in a bookstore showing me my book on a shelf was Rainy Day Books in Kansas City, where there was a face-out display showing my book, Rapeseed, another book in between, and then this book, The Virgins. I'm sure you'd agree that it's a pretty compelling cover, nice big bold single word title, and definitely got my attention, and so I was intrigued. Then I started reading notes and reviews about it and proposed it to my book club, which is going to discuss it tonight. So I thought I'd do a quick review of it based strictly on my own impressions before I hear anybody else's opinions. I've mentioned this book club before. It's pretty multicultural, multi-generational, and we don't all agree, ever. So it'll be interesting to know whether what I would say tomorrow is the same as what I'd say today. But I'm really intrigued to know what they're going to think, because my own opinion shifted as I read it. By the way, fantastic book. Let's start with that. I have been in touch with the author of the book and told her the one word I have for it was wow, and it really earns the wow. I want to tell you what John Irving, who blurbed it, says on the back, because it's absolutely spot on. He says, "What happens between Sung and Aviva, this pair of star-crossed lovers, is truly horrible. The ending shouldn't be given away by a reviewer." Okay, so that's what I had read. I had also read that it wasn't what you think. So those were kind of the intriguing entrees to the book that I had. Very quickly in the storyline, it became apparent to me that this was a study of teenage sex, and through the point of view of an omniscient narrator who you question whether or not he deserves to have the omniscience that he does. Very James Salter in style. If you've read A Sport and a Pastime, pluck that template from that novel and plop it down right here, and you've got The Virgins. She, in fact, Pamela Erens, it's no coincidence, I'm sure, that an English teacher in the boarding school that she's describing is, in fact, named Mr. Salter. So I'm not going to give it away. I'm not going to tell you anything that John Irving would not want me to tell you. But what I will tell you is that I'm someone who, I like my omniscient narrator to truly be omniscient. I don't like people messing around with point of view where they don't belong. So I questioned it a little as I started reading The Virgins, and I certainly questioned it when I read James Salter. I've questioned it in Gadsby, whether or not really Nick Carraway deserves to have all the opinions that he has on Jay Gadsby. So, I know nobody's ever allowed to question Gatsby. I wouldn't do it if I wasn't talking to my good friends who I trust. Anyway, but what I want to tell you about The Virgins is, man, she pulls it off. She pulls it together, and she absolutely delivers the omniscience on a silver platter to her narrator. So go for it. Read this book, see what you think, and enjoy. She does male perspective, teenage boy perspective beautifully. Not everybody can do that, and she sure does. She does teenage girl perspective beautifully. And man, this woman, she can write. So I'm absolutely going to be looking up her first book. I think she won something major from the first one. If I had more time, I'd look for it and tell you what prize, but I'm sure she earned it. Virgins, Pamela Erens, E-R-E-N-S. Check it out, and it's a beautiful binding, beautiful cover, and there is something to underline on every page. Fantastic writing. Enjoy.